I'm making this video because I have a lot to say, and I just got finished watching this one video with the person named Doug Dash, and I want to thank you, Doug Dash, for giving me the courage to get up and actually make this video. So what happened is, I just recently was terminated from my job. I never knew something like that would happen to me, especially where I'm at right now, and in my age. I'm over 50, and at one time in my life, I worked 3 jobs. I worked 3 jobs, and I went to school. I mean, I sacrificed a lot. I was married several times, to be exact, 3 times. I've always worked, I've always provided, I've always given, shared everything with the women that was in my life. Um, I'm making this video because, I've been single or bachelor for the last 4 years, so ever since the pandemic and after the pandemic. And I don't even own a home anymore. I sold my home, I sold my cars. And I did those things because, I wanted to get away from just the norm, just the 9 to 5, just to working 2 jobs all the time. And I decided to take a traveling job. And I found myself doing everything I could to learn about this traveling job. No one was training us or telling us anything about it. It was a senior commissioning, job. And because of my background, because of what I was able to accomplish before I, was qualified for the job. But when I got out there on the construction site, it was just something totally different. I managed to learn what was going on, and I would get into why that happened and how that happened, but it had nothing to do with my performance at all. Actually, I rose to the occasion, and I learned how to do a lot of things at that particular job. What happened was, well, let's not get into that. Let's just get into where we are right now. And I'm making this video because I had this dream that I would, you know, after I got divorced, which I was, that was heartfelt to me. I did not want to be divorced. Believe me, I like being married. Um, I just found myself lost. I got depressed. Just like I got depressed after I got terminated. I got depressed really, really bad. I didn't want to do anything. The first thing I thought was just go look for another job because that's what I've been trained to do. That's what I've been doing my whole life. That's what my dad always showed me to do. He took me to work since I was 7 years old. So I always thought that the proper and the correct way to provide for your family was to go get a job. And if that job doesn't provide enough, get a second job. If the second job don't provide enough, guess what? Get a third job. And here I am. I mean, there's years that I made lots of money, even 6 figures, and here I am today, and I really don't have much, So I'm not gonna tear up right now for you guys. I'm gonna keep myself in good spirits because, like I said, I'm over 50. I never thought this would happen to me. I found myself in a place where I just don't know what to do. But I have this knowledge, I have this experience, I have all this information inside of my head, and I never wanted to get on YouTube to even express myself because of fear. So after watching Doug Dash video, I mean, I went upstairs to go use the free gym because I'm literally at this apartment that was paid for by my last employer because they paid for traveling. And this is actually my last 2 days. Today I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow to return back home, which I don't have a home. So I'm actually returning back to my mom's place. And that doesn't make any sense to me. I decided that I have a little bit of money left, well, enough to, live for myself for at least a couple of months. Literally a couple of months, not a year, just a couple of months. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go see my mom, hang out with her for a couple of days, take care of her like I always do. And then I'm gonna go off and I found a place that's gonna cost me $50 a day. And what I was doing was just a whole bunch of certification courses online, trying to get myself back into another employer. And I said, man, we're just doing the same thing again all the time, finding another 9 to 5 because that's what I was trained to do. I decided, you know what, I'm going to share my knowledge and wisdom and all of the experiences that I've learned throughout the years. So this is just the first of many videos. This is just something for me because I need to be able to talk to this camera and get it off my chest. And Doug Dash, big shout out to you because I can't thank you enough for giving me the courage just to get up and just, just make this video right now. And regardless of what anybody has to say, I don't know how many people out here are experiencing this, but that's right. I actually have been packing my bag, still packing up right now. And I'm gonna make a short video about this apartment that I'm staying in, because I do want to highlight that. I really think it's if you are working a traveling job and they're able to get you into national corporate housing, I think they have really good rates. They're paying like $120 a day to be here, and that's less than the hotel rates that the employee that I was working at was paying for. I mean, he was paying like 140 more, to stay at hotels and stuff. But I want to create content. I want to share my knowledge, the things that I've learned over the years. I wore many hats. I mean, I was an adjunct teacher in the evening time, teaching the HVAC classes. I have that's the information I said I got in my head. I was a contractor at one point. I was an HVAC technician at another point. I mean, I worked at hotels. I thought that one time in my life I was going to be a general manager of a hotel. I didn't make it no further than the front desk supervisor. And regardless of how much energy, I mean, I only got paid like less than 10, but I got paid $8 an hour to work at this job. And this is like 15 years ago. 15 years ago. I've been in this HVAC game since 2012. Okay, here it is, 2024. And I loved it. I loved it. I love what I learned. I love the things I did. But after a while, once I started getting up in age, climbing up those ladders and finding myself at positions where I wasn't balanced anymore. I don't know whether because of my age or just because of my agility, but I can't climb those ladders anymore. Going out there and working on those rooftop units out in the heat, I passed out a couple times. I can't do that no more. Even though I was in the Marines when I was 18 years old, I went to the Marine Corps. I passed successfully. I got an honorable discharge successfully, but there were several times in there where I passed out in the heat again. So I'm not afraid to get up and continue to keep pushing forward, but we all have to know our bodies, our mind, our limitations, and things that allow us to succeed. We have to know what those strengths are as well. So I'm just speaking from my heart, just speaking straight to you all, because I don't know if someone has the same story. If someone just could just give me a nod or something, say, hey man, you know what? It's gonna be okay. Because a lot of times I don't have that person to talk to. I mean, I talk to my mom. My mom is, she's senior, and I don't want her to worry. So I have to be careful what I say to her, because that makes her worry. My son, he's always done so much. He wound up marrying women who had children. He took care of their children. And for him to just be here today, single, with no wife, and it wasn't because of anything else strange. It was just that, the kids grew up, they got married, they moved on. And then the wife that was sitting there was looking at me, was like, I got what I needed out of you, so I'm good to go. That hurts. That really, really hurts. But however, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still around, and it, what do I want from this life? I want to be able to again share what I have learned over the years, and to tell you guys who are over 50, if you find yourself in this place, even some of the young guys that I want to speak to as well, there were times where those mentors came into my life. They didn't come into my life pronouncing themselves as a mentor, but they came into my life and they was able to help me, inspire me, and give me something to look at. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do that for someone else, because even though the position I'm in, I'm not going to stay in this position, because I know better. Okay. And I know that, God has something else for me. I know there's a high spirit that has something else for me, because if he didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be able to talk on this video right now. I would have given up. And believe me, there's some times that I've really, really felt like giving up. I even tried to give up, like on purpose. I tried to give up. And that spirit wouldn't allow me to give up. And I tried to. I tried to. I don't know why I tried to. One day inside of this apartment, I had to call 911. They came and I'm not a smoker, but I smoked and I really smoked some marijuana. And I don't know if it was laced with something bad, but I just really tried to give up this day. I really tried to give up. And I was in so much pain. My head was in so much pain. My body was in so much pain. Then I tried to drink a lot of coffee, and that didn't make any sense because I have high blood pressure, and then everything was just going crazy. So they came and they spoke to me, and gave me some water and told me, you're gonna be all right. We could take you to the hospital, but really, you're just gonna just sit there and do nothing. We're just gonna sit there and just monitor you, maybe put an IV in your arm. But to be honest with you, you're gonna have to get to this pain. Now, if you want to go to the hospital, you can, but I wind up not going to the hospital, and I cried. I cried before they walked out the door. They kept going. And here I am, a grown man, crying, but I wasn't crying because of the pain. I was crying because where I was at right now in my life. That's what I really was crying out for. And that hurt the most. And nobody knows this. I'm telling you all this right now for the first time. My mom don't know this. Some of my friends, which I have very few of, because once you start getting up in age, really, you don't really have a lot of friends, And I have brothers, but I never had that brother that was in my life that I can talk to. So really, my childhood friends became my brothers, which is really bizarre because you would think that when you have an older brother, you can talk to your older brother, but we're products of the '80s. My older brothers, they wouldn't even go in high school. I finished high school. So out of 14 kids, my sister and I, who were the two youngest, were the only ones that actually went through the college system. And I went to the military, of course, and college. But nothing still prepares you for this life. Nothing prepares you for it. All I knew was what my father said to me. Just work. Just work. You didn't tell me how to have a bank account. Didn't tell me none of those things. Those fundamental things of how to live and take care of yourself and your finances and planning and projecting where you're going to be in life. None of that. Everything was just for the moment. Just work right now, pay the bills right now, take care of your family, however that is. No, take care of your family. That's just a blanket statement. Like, what does that mean, right? So, I found my ups and downs a lot in life, and there were times when I really was up, I was up. Where that knowledge that was just passing through my head, I was just dishing it out to whoever was in front of me. Even the students that I had in the past that said to me, Coach, because they called me Coach D, Coach, just, put some videos out there, Coach. We want to see these lessons over and over and over again. And I just didn't do it out of fear. Out of fear. You could film me while I was standing up in front of the classroom talking, but out of fear, I just wouldn't do it. I don't even know what the fear was all about now, especially now that I'm here talking on the camera. But I expect more things out of me. I expect better things out of me, and I want to see myself grow right here, right now. So, and I hope you guys will be there with me. Okay, thank you.